Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Brando Tillman coming at you live and direct. Today I'm shooting this video because there was an article I saw on Facebook this afternoon, coming out of Charleston, South Carolina. That's where I'm originally from, Charleston, SC. And there was an article that came out in the Charleston Post and Courier online that was posted by one of my friends off Facebook. Basically, it was talking about there's a guy named, I can't remember his first name, but we'll just call him Mr. Brown because that's his last name. And I'll put a link to the article in the description so you all can read it. So basically, there's a club in Charleston called the Charleston Rifle Club. It's been around since 1855, which is about 6 years before the Civil War started. I think the Civil War started in 1866 in Charleston. First shots fired from Fort Sumter, I think. But anyway, so they denied. So it's all been an all exclusive white club. It was started by German people, but I think the German people didn't want anything to do with the military side of things, which I don't know why they named it, Charleston Rifle Club. It could have been something different. I don't know. But it was started by a bunch of German people back in 1855, way, a few years before the Civil War started. At any rate, so throughout history, it's always been an exclusively white club. I mean, you can get access there as a black person if you're going to visit, but you never get membership. I mean, like you can gain access also if if they hire you to cook there, as a cook or a server or whatever. Those are the kickers. Those are the things, but you can never gain membership. So Mr. Brown had recently, some people there encouraged him. He's a doctor. He did 20 years in the Navy. He's a stand-up citizen in Charleston, so he has very good credentials. He actually is some kind of engineer, I think, as well as a surgeon. So he has good standings, of course. And his father was an entrepreneur, made $25 million off defense contracts a year back when in his heyday. So he comes from a very prominent family, black family in Charleston. But the only thing is, he couldn't get access to the Charleston Rifle Club. And that's an old club. They have old money. They have, traditions. Of course, they're not going to let you in if you're not a WASP, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. That's WASP, WASP. Of course, they're not going to let you in. They have their traditions. They have everything going back to not, just keeping a restricted club. It's on a beautiful land outside of downtown Charleston by the water. I think it's like 14 acres. Lots of stuff going on there. They have their bowling alley. They have all kinds of stuff. You can rent out places there if you want to have like a banquet, a wedding, so forth and so on. Um, but people are thinking it's a shock that they're not accepting non-whites. I mean, they're not accepting Jewish people, which are considered white, but their faith is Jewish. They're not accepting Asians. They're not accepting anybody. Hispanics. They're not accepting anybody, and it's known they're a private club. As long as they're not taking funds from the government or the state, they can do what they want to do. I don't care. I mean, my thing is, why go somewhere where people don't like you, don't want to be around you? Out of 13, there was 14 candidates that night when Mr. Brown was there for induct, to be approved or not approved for membership. And out of the 14, he was the only one not accepted. All the other 13 guys were accepted. They rarely, not accept people, especially if you're a prominent surgeon, serves his country. He's an engineer as well, so this guy's super duper smart. But it doesn't matter. His skin basically is a sin. But that's how they see it. My thing is, some black people who know about this are up in arms, up in rage. But the same kind of black people sometimes, or black people in the community, will go there, spend money at the banquet halls to have their thing function, wedding receptions or whatever there, not knowing that, okay, they won't accept you as a member, but they'll accept your money, right? That's just how it goes with this particular club. You have to dig down the side of yourself and say, hey, if they won't accept me as a member, why should I spend my money here, right? You don't want me to be a member, but you still accept my money. And some people say, well, I don't care. I just want the prestige of saying, well, I have my function at the Rifle Club, Charleston Rifle Club, which doesn't make any sense because, you can have it anywhere. But I guess you can decorate anywhere. You can decorate a abandoned warehouse and make it look real good and have all the amenities that you need. But people just want to say, well, bragging rights of some black folks. I had my stuff at the Rifle House, Charleston Rifle Club or whatever. Yeah, it's BS to me. And I'll piggy and then go further and deeper. Um, if black people understood their buying power in the United States of America, they would go ahead and pool some of their own resources, our resources, their resources, whoever resources, and form your own exclusive club. They have the Owls Whist Club that went back to 1914 in Charleston, that was um, founded by a few black men in 1914, because of course they couldn't get into any exclusive clubs, so they had to form their own. And that's what you have to do in time of necessity. Just like black colleges and universities, they were brought about because of necessity. Segregation. White people didn't want to go to school with black people. They didn't want their kids mingling with the black people. School segregation. Somebody posed a question about Black Miss America. Black Miss America came back. Miss America came about because white people didn't want to compete. They restricted black women from competing in those pageants. So you had to have Black Miss America. Somebody said something about MTV. No, not MTV, BET. Okay, BET came about because MTV, when videos were becoming popular back in the 80s, wasn't showing black videos. Michael Jackson slid in there, but he was like the first black artist showcased on MTV videos. When MTV, that's all they showed was videos all day, all day, every day. They had a few segments, but for the most part in the 80s, they were just strictly music videos. Nowadays, I don't know what goes on there. BET was the same way. They just, the way BET was where I grew up in Charleston, it would come on, I think, at maybe sometime in the afternoon, maybe 5 o'clock, and it would go off at maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And then they'll come on all day Saturday, sometime on Sunday, but Monday through Friday, it was just like 5 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then there'd just be music videos, and sometimes they had different shows, but it was mostly music videos. And that was because that's where you got to showcase the black artists, like, the R&B artists, and then some crossover people, like the blue-eyed soul kind of white singers and stuff like that. Like George Michael was probably showing on there because he had a soulful voice. But for the most part, black videos were banned from MTV. You have to convey this to some of these younger millennials because they don't know the history of certain things. But yeah, so that was, I'll put this description in the link to the article in my description box, so you all can see this uproar for these restricted clubs, because these are people with old money. They're going to weather the storm regardless. They got the old money and they have the power in Charleston. Even Bill Murray, the actor, is part of that club, Charleston Rifle Club, when he goes to Charleston. But he's not up in arms, I don't think. I haven't heard anything from him, but he's probably too busy just to have to talk about why he's a member of a restricted club. He's a white guy. He's an actor. Not that he's an actor, he's a white guy. So he's going to get access quicker than a doctor who saved lives and stuff like that. The same black doctor, you won't want access to your club. He may be saving your life one day. What if he just says, oh no, I don't operate on white people? If your life depended on it, he just said, I don't want to operate on white people. It'd be his choice. But he took the Hippocratic Oath to save all lives. But that's different in the private sector. They don't have to do anything but stay white and die. So black people shouldn't be up in arms against this. Form your own thing. Just like when Asian people come over or Hispanic people come over, fresh off the boat as they call it, new to the country, and you see these people open up restaurants and stuff. And black people are like complaining about this, wondering, well, how can they just came from overseas, fresh off the boat, India, Hispanic or whatever, and they're opening up a restaurant? Because those communities take care of themselves. They save their money. They pool their money together and give it out to the new people as a loan for them to establish a business or open up a restaurant, stuff like that. So they'll pool together $70,000 in their community, and that money circulates in their community until they get their stuff up and running, and then they have to pay it back, or they could become a part of whatever they have, whatever coalition they have, to pool money together for the new people coming on, and it's so forth and so on. Because the average, I think there's the average amount of money that circulates within an Asian community, Hispanic community, so forth and so on. It's like maybe 45 days, so maybe a month and a half, that their money circulates within their community. It's not being let go, not being let out. Money in the black community doesn't circulate too much at all because we're always going different places for different things. We're not building up those communities. We're letting our money go. We're letting the people come to black communities with the liquor stores, the Arab people with liquor stores, gas stations coming into community, and they're not spending money in the community. They're not going to your boutiques, your soul food kitchens to eat your food. They're not spending money in your community. They're taking that money and taking it out your community, putting it into their community, circulating it, and then coming back to your community, black community, spending, taking, setting up shop, taking your money, going back to their community, putting it in, bringing their people over, which is not a racist thing. They're bringing their people over and they're helping their people. We're not doing that. We don't have anybody to bring over as black Americans because we're here. We was brought here. Some of us are indigenous people. And because everybody who you think is African American is not actually African American. I mean, that term, it's black people. That's a term that 4 people decided for the black community. And it wasn't even a black vote. It was like Jesse Jackson and a few other people decided, let's start doing this African American name thing. Because most of us are indigenous people. People of color has been here way before the slaves from Africa came. Look at one thing, look at black characteristics. I'm an indigenous person because my grandmother, my great grandmother, my grandfather's mother was of I think I want to say Seminole Indian. Like if you saw her, she was jet black, but she had that real long black silky hair. And some of the people that they knew were of the Seminole tribes and stuff like on the Panhandle of Florida, like the Tallahassees and all this other stuff. So that's where they're from. Jasper, Florida, which is in the Panhandle. Different people come from different spots. Like in South Carolina, they have the Gullah people, the Geechee people. But they're direct descendants of Africa because they have that real jet black complexion. They have the high cheekbones. And you look at them, you would think they're from Africa just the way they look, but they're from Charleston. Those are the true African Americans. People will call me half-breed because I'm not of the dark complexion. And most of my family isn't. But they'll say, oh, you got white in you. It's like, no, we may have came from a different type of people, like the indigenous people of America. And that's one subject you have to go investigate because it's deep. Because even some people are now coming out saying, no, I'm not African American. I'm not black. I'm of the indigenous people, whoever they were. They call them Native Americans. We are all of the Native Americans. I think what the white people started doing is labeling Native American as black or Negroes or colored. Thus, an identity was lost. But that's a whole nother subject. Let me get back on task. That's a whole nother topic. So the buying power of the black people alone is like $1.2 trillion or something like that, going back to a 2017 report. That's a lot of damn money for black dollars. But a lot of that money was spent on bullshit like hair and beauty. Black women last year, and black men probably, guys who get weave, spent $54.4 million just on hair and beauty. That's a lot of freaking money. A lot of money. Because the weave industry is popping off. I remember back in the day people would tease a woman for having weave. It's often popping now. Especially going now. Everybody has it. I mean, black women would say, well, white women do it. Yeah, but they have the clip on. It's still extensions, but hair is hair, I guess. If it's weave, wigs, or whatever, but the buying power of black dollars is not realized because the money's just flowing so freely. People want to have the Jordans and the material stuff instead of saying, okay, let's pull out. If you want to buy a pair of Jordans, why don't you buy stock in Nike or whatever? And you can take those dividends every 3 months and buy you a new pair because you're using other people's money. You're getting what you invested in out of it, your dividends payment. Then you go buy your new sneakers off of other people's money. And if you hold that stock and do those things, you're going to come up on top. I mean, people is not realizing, the black community is behind on finances because everything is hoop dreams and singing. Either you want to be a athlete, you pushing the kids to be athletes, or rappers or singers. Because it's easy to be a rapper now. You get Fruity Loops or whatever, some kind of software on your PC, make beats, start rapping, put it out there, get hot, somebody recognize you, go to iTunes, bam, it's easy. Nobody's putting the dues in. That's why we have a lot of this crap rap out there. All this mumble rap and shit that doesn't make no sense. But the buying power in the black community could be more. Well, not the buying power. I should say the influence of the black community could be more if the black community understood to keep their black dollars circulating within there. Because the Chinese people, the Asian people, they don't get two shits of cats dick about anything. They'll bootleg the hell out of something, sell it. Black market kings is the black market of the world is freaking Asia. not Asia, I'm sorry, China, Korea. They'll make any fucking thing for you. You go to AliExpress or Alibaba online, one of those, or freaking Wish or DH or Banggood. Go to one of those sites, and guess what? You're gonna see shit for cheap, and you can make money off this stuff. Open up your online store, buy the products low, sell for high. It's the American dream. It's just drop shipping 101. Buy low, sell high. That's how it is. Make your own brand. It can be done. And it can be done in the black community, but I think we black people need to quit competing against ourselves. If you have an idea and know something, pass it on if you're not going to use it. Pass it on to somebody who can use it. So if the more you compete, the more against each other and not pull your resources together, the more money's going to flow out. If you open up some kind of, just open up something different. I mean, everybody knows soul food, black people. Open up something different. I like barbecue, but because I'm a griller, but I like all kinds of food. I can do all kinds of food, from soul food, just American food, different kind of hamburgers, different kind of French fries, different kind of American food. I guess what they consider American food. I can hook up a steak like it ain't nobody's business. I can fry chicken, hook up a steak. I can do a lot of things. People say, well, you should open up a restaurant. Yeah, I'll be the fool to open up a restaurant at the behest of my friends, and then guess what? They're coming every blue moon and now passing the word on. And then when it fails, they'll be like, oh yeah, he fell. Oh yeah, blah, 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 he fell. I'm not going to set me up for the old okie doke. I'll wait till I'm a better position, get some investors, use OPM, other people's money to do it instead of my own money. Just like with real estate. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there. We just got to get out there and get it and not hang our hats because we're not accepted into a restricted club. So what? I'm not a club person. I've never been invited to any club. I never wanted to join a club. I didn't join a fraternity in college, and I wasn't interested in joining a fraternity in college. I'm part of the biggest fraternity in the United States of America, the United States military. We are all fraternal brothers, some way, shape, or form. No matter what color, creed, if you serve, you serve honorably and got out honorably, we're a fraternity. If not anything besides honorable discharge, then we can't speak about that. But that was just my rant for today. I'm going to do more rants, as I promised. But, yeah, so let's just get past the restricted club thing. They're going to have their restricted clubs. That old money is hard to compete with. If you get blackballed from a restricted club, just move on. If you want to play golf at a restricted club and they say no, just move on. There's other golf clubs you can play, golf courses you can play at. If you don't like it, pull the money together, open up your own. Get some people together, open up your own. So, and have it open to whoever you want to have it open to. I understand certain things. The color, I understand keeping riffraffs out, but if you have an upstanding person, you still want to keep that upstanding person out because of they're Jewish or whatever. That's up to them. That's their clubs. They own it. There's nothing I'm going to try to do about it. Nothing, nobody, because I've been hearing this narrative. I've been hearing this narrative going back to since I was in elementary school back in the 70s. And that's 40-something years ago. And it's still the same narrative today. So guess what? It's not going to change. I'm not being pessimistic. It's just the truth. What's the president of the United States? He's supposed to come in and say, hey, you got to deregulate your club. You need to let more people of color in. Nah, because it's private. They have nothing to do with it. And Muslim people, anyway, give so much contributions to the politicians. What the politicians going to say? They're going to be like, well, we're looking into it. Let's just fry some bigger fish, or bigger fish to fry out there. Okay, y'all, I don't know if this rant made sense. I'm trying not to be all over the place when I'm speaking, but I kind of stayed on task this time, talking about the restrictions of the club, why other groups of color are more prominent to do things or more prompt to do things than people in the black community, which is true. Until there's a change and just different mentality of just wanting to sing, dance, and play sports to get ahead versus, like the Jewish folks, they send their kids to college for business, law, and stuff like that. They're not worried about the hoop dreams. Athletics is not important as it is in the black community. Yeah, maybe maybe soccer and all this other stuff, but I mean, they're not hanging their hat on, I'm going to get a scholarship, or I'm about, they're hanging their hats on, okay, we want you to be an attorney. Our family is full of attorneys, now you be an attorney. We have to put our kids on that mentality. We have to teach them foreign language, expose them to different things than reality TV shows, give them some books to read because, truth be told, I went to college 4 years, 4-year degree, interdisciplinary studies, the Evergreen State College, Tacoma campus, Tacoma, Washington campus, Sankofa, sister campus of the Evergreen State College, Olympia, Washington, home of the Gooey Ducks. Went there 4 years. Should I went there for 4 years? Nope. Should have just went to business school or because the type of work I do, it has nothing to do with my interdisciplinary studies degree. Nothing. Zero. So nada. I just went to college 4 years. Told my mom I was going, went, bam, graduated, bam. Then I just have a degree. Okay. I'm using it for something. I'm using it for let's go to a resume. That's about it. But other than that, that's another rant for another day. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody enjoys their holiday season. We can't call it. Well, I hope everybody enjoys their Thanksgiving. Fuck it. If you don't like the word Thanksgiving, fuck you. Who cares? I like Thanksgiving. I don't care about the turkey part. I just like the food part. All right, everybody. If I don't see me again, I'll have a happy Thanksgiving. Spend time with loved ones. If you're by yourself, fuck it. Enjoy the day. Take a nap. Shit. Cook you a nice steak. That's what I want to have. Just like some prime rib, potato salad, or just a salad, prime rib, nice potato. Bam, I'm good. Fuck all of that other shit. That heart attack food, like chitlins. Everybody can't cook chitlins. Oh Jesus, pig intestines. Ugh. You eating the pig where the pig doo-doo goes through. Ugh. And it has those little black speckles in it. Ugh. If you see black speckles in your chitlins, if somebody may say that's pepper, I don't know. Because pepper's not, that shouldn't be inside the chitlins. Ugh. Or hog maw. Ugh. Or goat foot. Ugh. But anyway, enough clowning around. All right, everybody. Y'all hang in there. Today is November 20th, 2018. This is Brando Tillman. Y'all be good. And I'll see you around like a donut.